The basis of this physical time and space, this physical experience that you signed up for, what you knew before you came into this body were very simple. You knew that you were the creator of your reality. The basis of who you were was freedom. The basis of who you are is freedom. And you're so free that you can choose a thought, you can choose a perspective, you can achieve a perspective that can pinch yourself off from the fullness of your source energy. You can choose to not be free. You can perceive the absence of your freedom. And it's always your perception. You are the creator of your reality. You can create anything that you want. And all you must do is give thought to that of which you are wanting, and it'll come to you as you maintain vibrational harmony with your desire, as you match the frequency of it. And even a better way of saying that is, if you don't contradict your desire, if you don't contradict it, and do you know what that means? It means that when you say, I know I want it, but when you add the but, that's what throws your energy off. That's what throws the momentum of your thought off. Because your desires, they go right into that vortex, and your inner being holds your desires, and law of attraction does all the work. It summons all the cooperative components. So there your inner being is queued up and ready to go, and here you are, and your job is to achieve vibrational harmony with this broader version of you, this expanded version of you. You're expanding so fast, so the chase or the thrill of life is really catching up with your inner being. That's the true progress of success. And you knew all this stuff as you came into this body, and you're beginning to really remember the pieces as you walk around, and as you're in this time where many are talking about being the creator and being deliberate. It's just, we're not here trying to say that everyone's wrong and we're right, because there's no value. Everyone obviously has value, and everyone does have value, because it's all about the resonance with source energy, and many do offer that. And all we're saying is that, and it's not really much of a secret either, because if there really was a secret, this would be it. So you literally are a point of attraction in this vibrational world, and whatever vibration you're emanating equals your point of attraction now, and that's what law of attraction is responding to. So all we're saying is that you can literally change your point of attraction. You can change the emanation of your vibration, and then law of attraction, it has to give you more, which makes a lot of sense, because you can look around at your reality today. There's no real reason, scientific or real reason why, while there may be theories, there's no reason why one person can make $1 billion a year and one person can only make enough to cover their bills and their car payments. There's really their discrepancy is mad. And it's not because, well, there are theories. It's not because one is prettier or one is richer or one was born into a richer family. It's not any of that at all. It's one was more in vibrational alignment with what they wanted. And we give it to all of you. Our props really are to our human friends, because you come into this state, you come into this reality where there's resistance. And you always knew that, though, because you always understood, hey, I'm not going into this reality for that golden ticket. I'm not going in just because I would just, lazily stay around and everything would be the way you want it to be. It was never like that. You didn't come with that intention or that understanding. You understood that there would be wanted and unwanted in every particle of the universe, and that you would never get to the end journey. You never came to prove your worthiness. You never came to get anywhere, because it was really all about the thrill of going. That's why this journey really is everything, because you're on this journey of a lifetime. And what we mean by that is the lifetime is your journey. You are eternal creatures, and as eternal creatures you can never really be done with creating. And we just want you to just get that out of your mind completely. We would really like that, because we just know that if you're patting yourself on the back for the journey that you are not only embarking on but you are currently on, then you're having instant success. And as you're patting yourself on the back and calling yourself that instant success, you're feeling those emotional manifestations. You see, when you want something, the thing is, you've already created it. The second that you decided that you wanted it, the second that you decided, hey, I don't have any money, I want more money, an equal vibrational rocket was shot out of you, and it went right into the vortex. And as it is in the vortex, as it currently is in the vortex, that's the real version. You created another version, and that's why you can stand at any moment and completely be split off from who you are, because there are always two versions of whatever you're looking at. So when you're looking at your bank account, there's a vibrational version and there's a physical version. So the physical version would say, well, minus this amount, but the vibrational version is completely bustling with the vibrational currency and the money that you have amassed. You have amassed this money. This vibrational reality is real. It is real, and you can feel the security of it. You can feel the flow of it. You can feel the ease of it, while you can't yet see it with your eye. And we're just saying that emotions are translation of vibrations too. And we're going to talk a lot about daydreaming, because daydreaming is just we can talk about process all the time, and ultimately every single process is really about releasing resistance. Whether it's meditation, where you actually enter a place of non-resistance, you actually stop all thought instead of trying to offer positive thought. And daydreaming really is that, it's not the next level, because there's no end. Because to say that there's a next level means that you're finally there and everything's finally gonna happen. It's not like that, because you're never going to be in a place where all of your resistance is gone, because that's what your death experience literally is about. And we're not here to get you to all re-emerge back into your non-physical bodies. We actually like that you're physical, because it really is such an advantage, and a very big advantage to all of source energy. And so while you're here in these bodies, your job is not to become source energy. Your job is to be blended, be this physical body while also being a source body, so to speak, because you just have these two versions of yourself, and these two versions of yourself, you really want them to be blended. And as you're really letting and allowing the progress of your path to be measured by how you feel and not by how much you have, because that's what our friends are doing. You're looking around and you're comparing yourself to one another, and you're saying, okay, how much do you make an hour? How much do I make an hour? How many assets do I have? Well, I'm only worthy until people look at my awards and tell me I'm worthy, and I can only feel good because my guidance system is being run by other people. So if they feel good about me, then I feel good about me. So let me just do whatever I can. Let me do everything that society tells me to do, everything, and who cares about my satisfaction? Because my satisfaction is about what they think about me. But then it gets really messy and choppy, and it's not fun. You never really have fun. The true measurement of your success is how you feel, is your joy on the path. Because if you understand that you're eternal, this is the best way to explain it. You're eternal, and reality is never going to slow down enough for you to really look at it and be like, oh, it's never one picture. It's always moving. It's always in the process of becoming something different. But you can remember, you're so free that you can lock on to the version of reality that you're seeing. Well, it is old reality, but in your mind, you can observe it. And the more you observe it, you literally practice the vibrational frequency of it longer. And since you're not sensitive to your emotions, but you are getting better, you just keep looking at the reality, keep observing it, offering all of your vibration, and guess what happens? You get more of it, and then you're like, well, I'm just cursed. And we're like, well, it's not necessarily like that, because like I said, if there's a secret, it's the fact that you are literally offering a vibration all the time if you're awake, and law of attraction is giving it right back to you. And so you can change your vibrational output, but most are not. Most are offering their vibrations by default. They're creating by default. They're just seeing something, they're having knee-jerk reactions. No one's really getting out ahead, but you could get out ahead of reality. So now when you're in reality, you are gonna have that knee-jerk, but you're gonna snap right back to who you really are. You're gonna snap back to okay, like, all I have to understand is that I'm offering a vibration, and this offering a vibration is not about pretending or manipulating to the law of attraction, because the law of attraction is not like your teachers, it's not like your parents, it's not like something that you can lie to. And here's the thing, you can pretend, you can fake it till you make it. The thing is, it's never gonna work. It'll never work. You'll never fake it till you make it, because that's not how a vibrational reality works. Because the law of attraction is not there's not a community who's like, okay, so and so sacrificed the law, they worked really hard this year, let's give them something. Because that's what you do to each other. You guilt trip each other, because you think that, hey, if I pay a big enough price, I should get a big enough price. But look at all those who sacrifice. They don't really get, their sacrifices don't equate to a physical reward, because that's not this is the thing. The universe doesn't reward people. The universe matches them up with the vibrations. That's why there can be criminals. That's why there are people who want to fight people, and there are people who feel vulnerable, and they always get matched up, because that's what law of attraction is. Law of attraction is fair. It really is fair. And it's, you know what's crazy? It's the best thing in the world when you really can understand it. But you can't get what you want by faking your way there. You can only get what you want by truly owning the vibrational version of what you want. And so this is really interesting, because when you first say you want money, right? Well, your money now exists. You have to accept that there's a version of yourself, there's a version of the money that does exist. It's vibrational, but you can't see it, but you can feel it. So we say, talk about why you want it. Just talk about why you want it. Talk about why you want it, and then you will feel an emotional improvement. Because as you talk about the emotions, you're very general. You're not talking about where it's coming from. You're not talking about what it's coming from, because those questions will always give you resistance, because you don't have answers to them. And if you don't have answers to them, you feel like, okay, like, then I'm basically screwed. And it's unnecessary resistance. Because here's the thing, you don't need to figure out the way to be, what's crazy is that, like, when you really want something, you're more likely to contradict it because you're not seeing it, you're taking score. It means more to you. You can't live without it basically, but yet you have to, because we know that it's not that you have to completely clear all of your resistance, because here's the thing, while you're in this body, you're still going to experience resistance. So it's not about completely not contradicting your thought to the point where there's no contradiction at all. We're saying that there can be a contradiction, meaning there can be that, but we want more of the I want it and it's gonna be fun. We want more of the emotional feeling of fun and joy out of it, rather than the but and the resistance. Do you get what we're saying? It's this balance. It's this balance between desire and belief. And we want you to find this comfortable balance where you're actually talking about what you want, and you can talk about in a way where it feels good to you, because that's the thing, is that you're not going to get all the resistance out, but the more you talk about what you want and why you want it, the more you can feel good about any subject. You're putting that marble in your bag. You are literally creating that grade. You're offering a vibration about it, because here's the thing, if you want something, all you have to do is feel good about it. But you think that means that you have to feel good about every single aspect, but we're like, but you have to realize that there's already a version out there in the vortex. It's a version that you have created, and it's there. And I think this is like the clearest way we have ever said it. There's a version. You created a version of it, but you have to line up with that version. And the thing about lining up with that version is that you're more likely to line up with a version that you already have, but you want to ignore that. You want to understand it. You want to put it in the right box, which is that it's old and it doesn't really matter. This new version, this version is who you are. This version is what you really want. So if it's what you really want, aren't you almost in a way that's not totally perseverance, but it's more focused, because you understand the science of this all. You're because you want it, you're gonna think about it. You're gonna think about it in a way that feels good, because you don't have to feel good about everything. You have to feel good about a little piece of it, and goose it up and milk it, and then your vibration completely gets overtaken by that one piece that you really like, and now you start seeing results. But here's the thing, is that when you start to see results, and we're so excited to say this because this is really what's stuck in a lot of people's vibrational craw, which is you're not going to congratulate yourself. You're not going to count this desire as a success until you fully see it. So what's stuck in your vibration is, I'm going to really believe it when I see it. Like, yes, I see evidence, and yes, I see the money coming in. Yes, I see the little pieces, but I'm not going to fully have that big celebration, or what's at the vibrational root of celebration, which is that full force appreciation, until I see the full version, not just the steps there, but I need the full version. But we're like, but then you can't ever really make it, because you're blocking yourself. You're saying, you're introducing absence into the equation, because you're saying, once I'm there, I'll feel better. But what are you really saying? What are you really meaning? What are you really feeling? What you're really feeling and what you're emanating vibrationally, the point of attraction that you're offering is one of dissatisfaction, unhappiness, because you're like, well, I'm gonna feel good when I get over there. But that's the thing about law of attraction. You can't talk about being bored and ever expect something interesting to happen. You have to understand that I'm bored, but what's the version of myself do I see in my vortex? What about boredom makes me want something more? Well, I want to feel interested. What do you want? I want to feel interested. I want to have fun. Because you can't sit there and complain. It never works. Because you can complain and maybe someone will feel bad for you and give you something, but they're teaching you the wrong lesson. It's the law of attraction. It's all attraction. So you want to start congratulating yourself. Well, once you feel that emotion, your desire is a done deal. But think about how the emotional manifestation, because what's the first sign of your manifestation? And the emotional manifestation, you can literally feel the presence of your desire. You can't see it yet. It's like faith. It's like that intuition. It's like you just know something, but you can't prove it yet. But the thing is, we don't want you to prove it to everyone, because the second you get into the science of all this, you're like, okay, once I have the feeling, my manifestation is definitely coming. But the thing is, expectation can really become impatience really fast when you're trying to make your expectation be something that it's not yet. When you're trying to make the feeling, when you're trying to make this emotional manifestation into the physical, and you're trying to parlay, you're trying to put a motor on your boat, you're just trying to get there with your grit. But it's not like that, because here's the thing. Here is the thing. The thing is that you have to be okay with the emotion. You have to be okay with the emotion of it. And we're just saying, we want you to just hold there in the emotional state. We want you to, the emotion and the feeling good, the improved emotion, to just be enough for a little bit. Because if that's the case and you truly mean it, what you want has to come. What you want has to come. We love when you get in this attitude of making peace with reality, because that's actually the key. Making peace with reality, when you're just like, you know what, there's nothing I can really do. Like, it's already done. Like, it is what it is. Like, who really cares? There's momentum. There was momentum when I came in, and that's really it. The momentum is going to play out, and tomorrow I'll have another chance. That's you're giving yourself the benefit, not the benefit of the doubt, but you're letting yourself off the hook, because you understand that there's a lot of attraction, and you have these residual stuff that's making its way out, and you're finding more clarity, and you're just like, whatever, because now you're ready for the daydream. This daydreaming is not a joke. This daydreaming is crazy, because when you're daydreaming, you leave this atmosphere and you enter an atmosphere of no resistance, and the power of non-resistance is just it's like there's no real metaphor for it. It's like, imagine there's like a firecracker, and that's your human, like, you know, your human action, what you're able to think and conjure up with your mind right now, and what you're able to do right now, versus an atomic bomb. That's literally what this non-resistant thought is. The difference between the resistant and the non-resistant is just, it's wild. You can, and here's the thing, is that you can see the results from, because people are working hourly and people are making more money than most people are making in just one day, because they're using non-resistant thought. They're using the daydream. The daydream is the understanding that you already created that version. That version already exists. So now you're not escaping this reality. You're just going into the real reality. But the thing is, you can't see with your eye. You can only see it with your mind's eye. But this is the thing though, that doesn't discount your reality. That's the thing, is that the emotional reality of your manifestations, the emotional manifestation, how you feel about it, the flow of it, that's not a cheap version of the physical version. That's a manifestation in itself. And when that manifestation is good enough, when you understand that the reason why I want everything is a feeling, so I can have the feeling now. So I'm not looking for the object anymore. I'm looking for the feeling, and I have the feeling. Once you have that instant manifestation of the emotion, and it really is instant manifestation, because the second you want it, you can have it. Then, and you can hold it, and you can be like, okay, well, it's enough for now, and you're not trying to parlay, you're not trying to make anything more. That vortex is going to kick into high gear. And what we mean is that it's going to move forward, because when there's no resistance, what do you know about your cars that go down hills? The second you let go of it, that car is going to go down. It's a natural law of the universe. It's the law. You have to get what you want, even if that means that you're not going to be in this body anymore to receive it. But we just think you can have it right now. We think that you understand this more than you give yourself credit for, because you understand this. You understand that the more better you feel, the more you get, and the worse you feel, the more that you should just chill out and not really worry about anything right now, because anything that you do is really not going to be of any really, like, of any productivity or any service to you and what you really want. So friends, continue on living this internal experience, because you're always going to be here. There's nowhere else for our human friends to go. There's nowhere else for non-physical to come. This is it. This is this reality. This is where we all meet. This is the forward looking, and we're here, and you get this. If you know, you know, you know.